And now your starting lineup for the Washington County Tourism Firecracker 100 here tonight at Salem Speedway. Starting 22nd in the Fast Karts Window Tinting 09 Motorsports Chevrolet from Nab, Indiana, to be Glenn Neal in the number 33. Starting 21st tonight, going to be the 88, that'll be Jesse Cantrell. Starting 20th tonight, good to see this driver make it. In the Club 92 race cars, Case Boat Racing LLC, Mama Rosa's Main Street Realtors Chevrolet, the number 95H of J.T. Huffman. Rolling off 19th tonight in the Sheridan Mechanical KES Electric Property Scope Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky, it'll be John McLaren. Rolling off 18th tonight, the Powell Racing Chevrolet from Greenville, Indiana, it'll be David Powell in the number 17. Rolling off 17th tonight, it's going to be the rookie. It'll be the Kentucky Classic Pools, Ferris Plumbing, Wright Mechanical 8062 crew from Louisville, Kentucky. It'll be Carter Cook. 16th starter tonight. Good to have this young man with us in the Hudson Machine Shop, Lipscomb Restoration, Hydro Cleaning, Fisher's Key Stop Chevrolet from Owensboro, Kentucky. It'll be Carson Brooks. Rolling off 15th tonight, the Wheelers Towing the Auction Hub Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky. It will be Alan Williams Jr. 14th starter, good to have him back as well in the SS Fabrication Diesel Boys, John McLaren Motorsports, Kentucky Clutch and Performance Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky. It will be Sean Smith. Your 13th starter here tonight, the Night School of Welding, Good Vibe Garage Zip Heating and Cooling Chevrolet from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. It'll be Jamie Goodman. Your 12th starter tonight was your overall fastest qualifier, being a 12 invert. The H&R Agri-Power Bush Hog, Fisher's Towing Auto Truck and Trailer Repair Chevrolet from Philpott, Kentucky, Heath Helton. Your 11th starter tonight in the Red Ball Recycling, Green Tree Real Estate, TNC Construction Chevrolet from Jeffersonville, Indiana. Please welcome Connor Popowell. And now your top 10. The United Mechanical, Bryant Heating and Cooling, Mars Trucking, Derby City Recycling Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky. Your defending champion of the Firecracker 200, Chuck Barnes Jr. Your 9th place starter tonight, the MR Heating and Air Bombs Racing Supplier, El Tarasco of Shepherdsville Chevrolet from Shepherdsville, Kentucky, Austin Baum. Your 8th starter tonight here at Salem Speedway in the Sheridan Mechanical KES Electric Property Scope Chevrolet from Shepherdsville, Kentucky. Please welcome the number 31 of Wayne Edwards. Starting 7th tonight on the grid, it's going to be the Hunter Station Pizza, Hicks Painting, Hoosier Truck Sales, Tim's Body Shop Chevrolet from Scottsburg, Indiana. Please welcome the number 98 of Jeff Caudell. Your 6th starter tonight, chasing a 6th championship. Your last time out winner in the number 32, Shane Wilson Lawn Care, MR Heating and Air, Locker Room Pub, Jillian Construction Chevrolet from nearby Borden, Indiana. Please welcome the number 32 of David Baines. Your top 5 here tonight, the Beacon Credit Union, Big O Tires of New Albany, Lefevre's Curbing Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky. He picked up his first Great American Stock win in 2025. Please welcome the number 38 of Alex Ware. Your 4th place starter here tonight, the veteran of the sport, the Mars Trucking, Gilbert and Mitchell, Hall, Brother Truck Leasing, Barnes Auto Service Chevrolet from Louisville, Kentucky. Please welcome Chuck Barnes Sr. Now your top 3. We begin with the Stivers Heating and Air, Kingsbury Concrete, Bluegrass Spices Chevrolet from Mount Washington, Kentucky. Please welcome the 48 of Craig Luther. And your top row, your father and son duo. Starting on the outside of the front row, the King's Homes Furnishing, Milligan Brosmer Communication Diesel Boys LLC Chevrolet from Birdseye, Indiana. Please welcome the number 99, the Birdseye Bullet, Brian Bear. And your pole sitter here tonight for the Firecracker 100. It is the Solar Control Window Tinting, St. Anthony's Tire and Auto, Seafring Excavating and Lawn Care Chevrolet from St. Anthony, Indiana. Please give it up for the number 23 of Trent Bear. And race fans, let's give all of the greatest American stocks, I call them the baddest street stocks in the nation, a round of applause as they buckle in for 100 laps around the over half-mile 79-year-old Salem Speedway. And drivers, get strapped in. It is time to go. Your crew down there helping you out as we get closer to the start of the Firecracker 100. And now, race fans, it is now time for the most famous words in motorsports. We'll count them down, and you, the fans, will help me out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drivers, start your engines. The cars roar to life. Harold Adams here. We are tonight at Salem Speedway, getting ready and set to go. Harold Adams, what are you expecting? 100 laps, all green flag laps here tonight at Salem Speedway.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild one here. We got a lot of good competition, and with that invert being a 12, really going to make things interesting. Nobody's going to run away with this one.
No doubt about it as we get ready and set. For those of you watching at SalemSpeedway.tv, we appreciate you for being here, as well as everyone in attendance here at Salem Speedway. 22 of the best drivers going 100 laps here this weekend, not 200. It's going to be a shootout. This is what we're watching here tonight at the High Bank. Harold Adams, you know, a lot of things going through the minds of these drivers out there. We talk about that each and every time out here. And, you know, their number one thing was slick, right? They talk to us about that. It's going to be a slick surface tonight as the sun begins to set. That don't matter. The heat's already in this racetrack. So this is one thing the drivers are going to have to watch for.
Yeah, no doubt. Been very hot this week, not much rain, and we had a lot of racing action on the surface over the last couple days. So here it is, ready for these two 100 lappers. And it's going to be interesting to see the strategies of these guys if they want to hold back a little bit for a little while. It is 100 laps, not 200 laps like we've seen in the past. So it's something that these drivers need to see what they're going to do and see if anybody wants to jump out there quick or anybody's going to lay back and just wait till the end.
No doubt it's going to be a father and son front row. Trent Bear on the pole with the invert with Brian Bear right out beside him. Looking on back from there, of course, the invert was a 12. Of course, your overall fastest qualifier, Heath Helton, back there in row number 6 on the outside. Talked to that driver a little bit earlier on. He was focused on this first crown jewel of the 2025 season. So talked to him a little bit back there as well. Of course, Chet Barnes Jr. just got back from a fresh vacation, rested up, ready to go, looking to defend his Firecracker 200. He is your defending champion. So can the United Mechanical Mars Trucking number 44 come back up there and steal one? I mean, you got to look at Austin Baum. Great qualifying effort. You're defending Great American Stock Champion back there in the 5th row as well inside. A lot of storylines here. First time ever Great American Stock winner Alex wearing that 38, looking for a good run here tonight in this Crown Jewel event.
Yes, sir, and you also don't forget about Wayne Edwards in 31. Had a really good qualifying run. He's had a lot of trouble trying to get that car up to the front here over the last couple years, but he's right there. We'll see if he can make a run tonight.
Race fans, as we do every race, it is now time to rise on your feet. These drivers will salute you, the greatest race fans that you have come to see. These 22 greatest street stock drivers in the nation. They are the fierce competitors of the Great American Stocks and CRA Street Stocks. Now wish these drivers Godspeed for the next 100 laps in the Washington County Tourism Firecracker 100. we've waited long enough. It is now time. The lights are out on the Eddie Gilstrap Motor Space vehicle, and you know what that means? My favorite words to say. Next time by, he'll make the hard left-hand turn down a PNC pit road, and the DBB Properties start-restart zone will roar to life here at Salem Speedway, celebrating 79 years in 2025. Here we go, my favorite moment, yours as well. He picks up speed in the Ford Ranger pickup truck. He'll make the hard left-hand turn down on pit road. Trent Bear, Brian Bear, Craig Luther, Chuck Barnes Sr., Alex Ware, and Dave Baines. Your top 3 rows. Look for the green flag off turn number 4. Race fans, here we go. The Great American Stocks are underway.
Turns 1 and 2. Looks like the 23 Trent Bear going to set the early pace.
No doubt about it. Jeff Caudell back there lost a little bit of ground. Everyone stacks up through the back. Everyone got through that A-OK. It's going to be Trent Bear leading lap number 1 of the Firecracker 100.
A good, clean lap number 1. Trent Bear leading. Brian Bear right behind him. 1 and 2. Looks like Chuck Barnes Sr. third, and then they stack up the rest of the way.
Yeah, they make their way off turn number 2 down the back straightaway now as they work through. Dave Baines cut up on the high side back there. Everyone's still stacking up. Here comes Sean Smith back there. He shoots to the inside. He is the first car on the inside. Back through the pack, battling with Heath Helton now. Still going to be Trent Bear with 2 laps on the board.
2 laps down, yes. The 23 looking good out there. And then the 99, Brian Bear, Chuck Barnes Sr. On back, Craig Luther. And then David Baines, your top 5.
Heath Helton shoots down, takes that position away from Chuck Barnes Jr. back there. So Heath Helton now moving up. He's right behind Austin Baum now, number 74, as they make their way off turn number 4 into turns number 1 and 2. Still Trent Bear, Brian Bear, and Chuck Barnes Sr., your top 3.
Yes, very interesting watching Heath Helton back there. Remember, he was your fast qualifier, and the invert was at 12. So he's got to work his way through. Of course, plenty of time in this 100-lapper.
No doubt about it. Right now, Trent Bear still on fire. And I'm watching the battle back here between Chuck Barnes Jr. and Sean Smith, seeing if they can get through. Still clean and green so far. There's Craig Luther and Dave Baines rounding out. But now Austin Baum on the bottom. Heath Helton goes to the top. Sean Smith now trying to get past Chuck Barnes Jr. through the back of the pack as they go down the back straightaway.
Coming out of turn 4, completing lap number 5. Trent Bear really looking at a good pace. Big, comfortable lead at this time as they go single file all the way back through. Of course, Heath Helton, again, looking underneath Austin Baum.
Yeah, Heath Helton, he flies through on the bottom, trying to make that bottom side work here at Salem Speedway. Austin Baum still atop, right in front. Here comes Heath Helton shooting through. No, watch out as Wayne Edwards goes around. Close call. Everyone avoids that mess, and we have yellow flag on the Speedway. And oh man, Harold Adams, that could have been disastrous, but how about all of those drivers and the spotters doing a phenomenal job up on top of the roof?
Yeah, no doubt. That could have been a lot worse. It came out the best case scenario, if you will. Looked like Wayne Edwards just kind of lost it a little bit, almost held on to it. Actually hit the wall a little on there, probably a couple flats, rear end broke, and tough break there. As you said, everybody else did a good job of avoiding the 31.
Also, race fans, if you have a Blue Child's ticket, go on and get that out. Blue Child's ticket. I don't want to miss these giveaways. Blue Child's ticket. You'll just bring a certificate. If you have blue ticket number 127212, 127212, or ticket 592213, 592213, bring it to the press box, please. And I do want to give a shout out to our t-shirt sponsors tonight for the Wild Will Throwdown military t-shirts. Heath Helton Racing down there. We got some Heath Helton shirts to give out. Also some of my shirts by Brian Bear Motorsports. The Bears bought some of our t-shirts to give out to the great crowd tonight. So Brian, a good friend. We appreciate them. And Code 3 Roofing, LLC, Carrigal, and the gang. So Harold Adams, I know you're going out to visit with the crowd out there. And while Wayne Edwards cleans up, I'll take it away from you. Thank you so much for the t-shirt giveaways tonight. And, of course, Baum Motorsports, of course, Baum's Racing Supply.
Yeah, thank you, Will. Got a few shirts here. Got a couple of the sponsors right now. Looks like some kids' shirts, possibly. No, looks like they're adult medium. These are from Brian Bear Motorsports. Brian Bear Motorsports helping out with the T-shirt giveaway. Medium. Who's a medium up here? Brian Bear again. This is a small. Who's a small up here? Looks like kids large. Right there, perfect. All right, let's look down over here. Brian Bear Motorsports. Looks like a kids large. Who's a kids large down here below me over here? Anybody down here? Here it goes. All right, going to Code 3 Roofing. Code 3 Roofing. Looks like a medium. Who's down here below a medium? Anybody? Looks like you had too many cheeseburgers. You're not a medium. All right, here we go. Where it goes up here. Whoa! Don't worry, I got some more. Hey, I got to throw better than that, don't I? How about a small from Code 3 Racing? Anybody over here? Small? Small? All I see is big people. Where's my small people?
Thank you very much, Harold Adams, and thank you again to our T-shirt sponsors, money going to the military. So we appreciate Brian, of course, Bear, Code 3 Roofing, Kara, Gale, and whatnot, and of course, Bombs Racing Supply, and Heath Helton down there, the number 16 Motorsports, for the giveaways tonight. So pretty cool indeed for them doing that. So the issue with Wayne Edwards, tough break for that 31 crew as they just kind of went around exiting turns 4, but what a great job by the spotters upstairs and everyone avoiding that catastrophe that could have been. Taking out quite a bit of cars, but they did a phenomenal job. So there was the choose. Everyone gathering it back up here as we get ready and set for the restart. Everyone 2x2 behind the Eddie Gilstrap Motors pace vehicle. So 5 laps. Now we talk about this, Harold Adams, getting ready and set to go. The choose cone, that kind of determines a little bit of a throwing a little bit of wrench in the fire, if you will. We've seen it the last couple years, but some of the guys who maybe are not in the front of the field can actually move up if they don't choose that preferred groove.
Yeah, I know. It's really made things interesting on his restarts. It's just not just a simple restart anymore. You got some strategy involved. Some guys might want to take that risk. Some of them may not. It sure does make it interesting. We've seen it work. We've seen it not work. So we'll see how that goes as the night goes on. As I said before, we'll probably see a few more cautions as well.
So 2x2, of course, getting ready for the restart here. How about Trent Bear? Very impressed with that number 23 team. Proud of their success that they've had and the determination. I talked to that young man quite a bit, and they go down the back straightaway. Actually, believe it or not, it's my wife's dental patient, so how about that? So here we go, getting ready and set to go. Trent Bear on the front, Brian Bear on the bottom. So here we go. The Bears going to set to the restart zone, the DBB Properties restart zone, and we roar back to life with 5 laps on the board.
All right, Will, green flag is back out, and this time it's the 99 jumping out into the lead.
99 is going to go up to the high side, but here comes David Baines, and now Brian Bear. He takes the number 1 spot. Down the back straightaway they go. Trent Bear in second. Dave Baines. It'll be interesting to see how him and Connor Popplewell and Austin Baum are going to try to fit in the high side.
Yes, indeed, and right there on the high side is Chuck Barnes Sr., and he'll take his. But here comes Connor Popplewell, still trying to make that inside work.
No doubt about it, he's staying on that inside. It's a drag race between him and David Baines down the back straightaway. Top 3, Brian Bear, Trent Bear, and Chuck Barnes Sr. They make their way over to turns 3 and 4. Off turn 4, 7 laps on the board. It's Brian Bear.
And Brian Bear now pulling away a little bit, just as Trent Bear did earlier. Trent Bear second, Chuck Barnes Sr. third. And still a good battle for fourth between David Baines and Connor Popplewell.
No doubt about it. It's still side by side between those two drivers. How about that battle? You go on back, and Austin Baum, I wish I could say the same for him, but he finally has to get behind Heath Helton in that number 74.
And as they go into turns 1 and 2, Connor Popplewell now slips back a little bit. Now he's got Craig Luther on the outside of him in the 48.
Yeah, Craig Luther, he hasn't ran a full season with us. He's just on the Crown Jewel events this year, he said. But Alex Ware right behind him as well. Connor Popplewell now. I thought Connor Popplewell for a moment was going to slide up in front of Alex Ware, but Alex Ware has that position. That's what we're watching right now as they work off turn number 2. And then we'll give you a full rundown, but this is going to be a battle we're watching, Harold Adams.
Yeah, Connor Popplewell down on that inside doesn't seem very comfortable down there right now. And Alex Ware knows it. He jumped right up there, and he's going to gain a position right there.
Yeah, as you look, of course, everyone trying to stay up. If you get back down on that high side, that's what you got to do. Now, finally, Connor Popplewell is going to be able to pop up on the high side. Giving you a rundown, Brian Bair, Trent Bair, Chet Barnes Sr., David Baines, Craig Luther, Alex Ware, Connor Popplewell, Sean Smith, Jeff Caudill, Heath Helton rounds out your top 10. Austin Baum, Chet Barnes Jr., Alan Williams Jr., Carter Cook, and John McLaren is your top 15 as J.T. Huffman for momentarily led that lap from John McLaren. He'll go 15th now. Jamie Goodman, David Powell, Glenn Neal, and Jesse Cottrell rounds out your top 20. That's a rundown of your field right now.
All right, and then we'll click over to lap 12 now. Still the 99 Brian Bair setting the pace. Trent Bair's right there behind him. Chuck Barnes Sr. right there. Top 3, top 4, 5, all lined up now. Just kind of settling in right now, just ticking off a few laps.
No doubt about it. You're exactly right. They go down to turns 3 and 4. Still Brian Bair off turn number 4. Trent Bair still following him. Everyone just kind of biding their time a little bit. You get the aggression out early, of course. You look in the back of the pack, got to give a shout out to J.T. Huffman, rookie of this race, that, hey, I just want to complete all 100 laps. Of course, after this, we can set our sights on the Halloween 200. But doing a phenomenal job on the start of this race as we go to 14 laps on the Salem Speedway scoreboard.
Single foul into turns 1 and 2. 99 Brian Bair setting a good pace here so far. And we'll see if anybody in that train of the leaders there will try to make a move here one of these laps coming up.
Yeah, no doubt. Top 3, they go to 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And they work their way out of 4 right now. It's a freight train off turn number 4. Keeping an eye on Jeff Caudill as well. On the start, he got a little shuffled on that start. Keeping an eye on that number 98. But there is a 2-car battle now between Alex Ware and Sean Smith.
Sean Smith now on the outside. Alex Ware stuck on the inside. Here's Connor Popplewell now going to go on the outside of Alex Ware too.
Yeah, no doubt. Alex Ware hung up on the bottom down there, exiting turns number 4 right now as they go down to the stripe. They work their way into turns number 1 and 2. Everyone gets single file yet again. Here comes Heath Helton on the top of Jeff Caudill now as he tries to work to that position.
Jeff Caudill, the 98, looks like he's off the pace a little bit, having some trouble there.
We just talked about Jeff Caudill. We'll have to keep an eye on the number 98 machine.
Yeah, well, he does not look like he's up to par right now. He's still running, but he just does not look very strong at this point. That's pretty bad. We seen yesterday in practice, he was really strong.
Really strong indeed. As you're seeing the double box there at SalemSpeedway.tv. See on your left, you see Brian Bair leading the fray. On your right, you can see that battle. Keeping an eye on the number 98 of Jeff Caudill and Austin Baum on the right side of your TV screen.
We got 18 laps on the board right now out of 100. These guys just setting a good pace here right now. Just biding their time, seeing how the car feels, trying to save those tires.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is what we expected, right? We want to see everyone trying to bide their time as the yellow flag for a big pileup over in turns number 1 and 2. And it looks to be Glenn Neal's 33 and David Powell's number 17. And looks like possibly Carson Brooks may have got a part of that. I'm not for sure. I know maybe he will come down to a little bit of front left damage on that 75. And he'll come down to PNC Pit Road, I'm sure, down there at that motorsports team. They'll look at that car. Now, don't know if he got involved in it, but it looks like a little bit of front left damage on that number 75 of Carson Brooks.
Yeah, 3-car situation over there in turns 1 and 2. You see the 33 now, Neal pulling away. Didn't really see what happened on that one as that was in the back of the pack, but we looked over and there was 3 cars over there on the high bank.
Yeah, Carson Brooks talked to them yesterday quite a bit in the pit area, a rookie here. Of course, Tyler Hagan and the gang built that car and that chassis. Of course, Tyler Hagan plans to be here during the Halloween 200. They got a brand new street stock ready to debut as well. But now they're down there helping that young rookie, Carson Brooks, trying to make everything he can. You can see it on SalemSpeedway.tv with 81 laps to go. But wow, Harold Adams, what an incident over in turns number 2 as they were exiting turns 1 And tough break for Glenn Neal. He has not had the weekend that young man has had. And, of course, the 17 of David Powell as well. Just good to see those gentlemen back out here with us. And looks like one car going to be able to pull away over there. I believe that may be the number 17. So here we are, caution number 2 with 81 laps to go in the Firecracker 100. And there is Glenn Neal's number 33 machine. He is able to continue, but giving you the rundown right now for everyone watching at home and here in the stands. Brian Baer top of the board, Trent Baer in second, Chuck Barnes Sr. third, David Baines in fourth, Craig Luther rounds out your top 5. Running 6 right now, the 86 is Sean Smith. Connor Popplewell goes 7th right now. Heath Helton 8th, Alex Ware 9th, and Jeff Caldell rounds out your top 10. Austin Baum 11th, Chuck Barnes Jr. 12th, Alan Williams Jr. 13th, John McLaren 14th, Carter Cook 15th, Jamie Goodman 16th, JT Huffman running 17th. Jesse Cottrell, Glenn Neal, David Powell, Carson Brooks, and Wayne Edwards. Of course, Wayne Edwards out of competition here tonight. And just a shame, Harold Adams, that Wayne Edwards, he had that blistering fast. I mean, compared to his other times, he said he was looking forward to this weekend more than anything. A tough break for that 31 Shepherd's Hill, Kentucky team.
Yeah, I was looking forward to see how he was going to progress in this event. Like I said, he had a really good practice this weekend and put down a really good qualifying time. So I was looking to see if he could go back to the old Wade Edwards. He dominated here years ago in the old street stocks, and I believe he even won Halloween 200 way back in the day. And he's still going at it. He was retired there for a little while, but back, and he's been trying to get that car up to par. Finally got it up to speed here, and then tough luck down there in turn 4. So they'll have to go back to the drawing board as we continue to be under caution here.
Yeah, caution for the second time here this afternoon for the Firecracker 100. Don't forget, race fans, we are here 1 week from tonight. It is the 500 Sprint Car Tour. Rolls into town here at Salem Speedway. The Joe James Pat O'Connor Memorial for the 500 Sprint Car Tour. Also, Kenyon Midgets and the Diesel Boys Legend Series going to be here. Always a fun time to see the open wheel cars roar back to life here. Now, don't forget, August 9th, it's been a while. The USAC Silver Crown Sprint Cars return. So quite a bit of racing, and I myself make my way to Gibson County Fair this Monday night. Of course, talking about Bigfoot, all the monster truck legends. I'll be promoting that show August 23rd. The monster trucks return here at Salem Speedway. Getting ready for that. But not only monster trucks that night, Harold Adams. We have the Crown Vics and the Great American Stocks that night as well in the high bank. So kind of a combination show of 2 different fan types.
Yeah, interesting mix there, and it'll be interesting to see the crowd that you get for that one. But you're going to get a little bit of everything on that one.
Pretty impressive schedule this year, and of course celebrating 79 years. Next year, it's hard to believe us and Sportstrom Speedway turn 80 years old, celebrating 80 years, 1947. How about that, keeping short track alive for all of those years? I love talking about that because the history in Indiana of our short tracks. And hey, I preach every week on our podcast show, keep short track alive. You always have to support your local short tracks, and that's what we preach each and every week.
Yes, no doubt about that. We hear about different short tracks closing every year. It's a sad thing. It just happens, and with the economy the way it is and the social media, we've gone through that story before on the podcast. But
no, there's never no drama on social media.
Well,
what are you talking about?
I mean, maybe a little bit.
You got to love it. So here we go. Getting ready and set to go as they give them the 2 to go and choose this time by. So keep an eye on this as Craig Luther going to choose the inside. So now Brian Baer the high side, of course, and Trent Baer, very interesting. He's going to choose the inside. That's unusual for a top 2, top 3 car to choose that bottom.
Yeah, he's going to give it a try. So once again on this restart, you got the Bears on that front row, just like we see at the beginning of the race. So he wants to get up there and have another restart there with his dad. Yeah, Craig Luther on the inside of row 2 with Chuck Barnes Sr. on the outside. There's Heath Helton in row 3 on the inside with Dave Baines on the outside. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting restart. You keep an eye on that 3rd row inside. Heath Helton has worked his way up to the inside 3rd row in the number 16 Philpott, Kentucky driver, the H&R Bush Hog machine. Agra Power on side of that number 16 machine. How about David Baines? We haven't talked about it. We talked to him. He is chasing that prestigious 6 championships in the Great American Stocks this year. Picked up the last event out, of course, 2 to go, past Brian Baer over in turns number 3. Brian just got out of his car and smiled and said he was coming. We had nothing for him, but that was an excellent race here on June 21st. So
What a great run that was.
I see the 33 Glenn Neal that was involved in that incident returning to the track. He'll pick up on the tail of the field.
So getting ready and set for the restart here momentarily.
Yes, it does look like we're going to go at least one more lap around before we turn them green. 19 laps being shown on the board out of 100.
So yes, indeed, getting ready and set for the restart here momentarily. As we're keeping an eye on what they're going to do here. Looks like it will be the one to go signal. So lights are going to go out on the pace truck. As you can see, the Crown Vic drivers getting lined up on the infield, getting ready for their 100 lap coming up here momentarily. Going to be a blockbuster event for the Crown Vics. So the second caution flag out on the Speedway, getting ready for our second restart at the DBV Properties Restart Zone. Over there in turns 4, we come to life here at Salem Speedway. Eddie Gilstrap Motors pace truck pulls up the speed a little bit, makes the hard left-hand turn. Here we go again. Brian Bear on the outside, Trent Bear on the inside. Row 2, Chet Barnes Sr. high side, Craig Luther low side. Here we go, getting ready for the second restart, the Great American Stocks Firecracker 100.
And as they roll out of turn 4, green flag is out. We're back underway. Who's going to jump out of the lead? Looks like Trent Barron at 23 may do it, and he does. Out to the lead.
Actually, you can see Chet Barnes Sr. pushing Brian Barron. I think that hurt him on the restart just a little bit. Has a little bit of bump drafting going on here tonight at Salem Speedway as Chet Barnes Sr. looks like he's came alive in that number 5 machine.
Chet Barnes Sr. tucks into third place there as they battle for fourth. It looks like Craig Luther going to win that battle right now with Heath Helton on the inside.
David Baines on the high side. Heath Helton all loose down the back straightaway. Going back and forth, and he falls way off the pace in that number 16.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. He just kind of lost it a little bit, had to back out of it, and lost several spots in the occasion.
Chet Barnes Jr. back there underneath the number 38 of Alex Swear down the back straightaway.
Coming out of 4 now to complete lap number 22. The 23 looking really strong now. Trent Bear leading the way. Trent Bear right there with him. Chuck Barnes Sr. third, Craig Luther fourth, and David Baines fifth.
No doubt about it, and of course we're approaching the 1/4 of the way through so far, a quarter of the way almost. As we approach lap number 25, it's all Trent Bear, Brian Bear, and Chet Barnes Sr., Craig Luther, and David Baines, your top 5. Sean Smith, Connor Popplewell, Heath Helton, Alex Ware, and Chet Barnes Jr. Looking at 98, right after him, that'd be Jeff Caldwell's number 98. And 33, Glenn Neal out there just trying to stay out of the way, make some laps in that number 33.
And here comes Heath Helton now back on the inside of Popplewell now. He's regained his focus, and now he's going to try to make up a few more spots.
Yeah, Heath Helton on the inside. They work their way off turn number 4. Keep an eye on that number 16. He's got the bottom side now. And they head over to turns number 1 and 2. The only car on the inside, Sean Smith trying to play defense. Connor Popplewell above Heath Helton there for that position. Once again, they go down the back straightaway. Still Trent there out front right now, but we're watching the gaggle of cars with Heath Helton hung up on the bottom.
Heath Helton is on the bottom, but he's trying to make it work and pass a few cars along the way. He's trying to hang right in there, still right there next to Connor Popplewell and Sean Smith, and there he goes.
Yeah, there he goes, drag race in that number 16. He passes Sean Smith, getting a run right now. Can he hold that line? Sean Smith ain't going to be too easy to pass up on the high side. He's going to try to fit in just like a puzzle piece coming out of turn number 4.
We see that time again. Heath Helton got a little sideways coming out of 4, but now he gathers it back up, and there he is next to David Baines now.
Now, Harold Adams, I'm watching. I saw a little puff of smoke out of Chet Barnes Sr.'s number 5. Chet Barnes Sr., a little bit of smoke now from the number 5.
We'll keep an eye on that 5 car, but look, Heath Helton all the way up to 5th now.
Yeah, that crew watching, and you see Chet Barnes Sr. has an issue, and that if he doesn't get that fixed, I don't see how that's lasting the rest of this race. So the number 5 of Chet Barnes Sr. has an issue as you see the puff of smoke from that number 5.
Could be a tough break. We'll keep an eye on that machine right now. He's still keeping pace, running a good, strong third, but how much longer can he do it?
Yeah, it gets worse every lap right now. Don't know if it's an engine issue. Don't know if it's a tire rub. We'll keep an eye on that number 5, that's for sure. Right now, Trent Bear out front leading the fray with Brian Bear right behind him off turn number 4.
29 laps in the books. I tell you what, an impressive run so far with that 23 car. Really looking strong. It showed a lot of muscle early on.
And you got 71 laps. It'll be 70 go next time by. You see the double box there on your screen. The right side, you see your leader, Trent Bear. Left side, you see the battle. And a little bit of smoke there on your screen from Chuck Barnes Sr. as they work out of turn number 4 right now. So the freight train going around the over half mile here at Salem Speedway.
Yep, 30 down, 70 to go. There goes Heath Hilton on the inside of Craig Luther now in a battle for 4th, and there he goes.
Heath Hilton takes over the P4 spot right now as he's right behind Chuck Barnes Sr. Heath Hilton brought a hot rod here tonight at Salem Speedway.
It's almost if, Will, he had that little trouble earlier, and little Bob went back a few spots, and now he's just like on a mission right now.
Well, now you got to be careful if you're Heath Hilton, because if anything does happen to Chuck Barnes Sr., you are right behind him. So you have to be careful and try to get around Chuck Barnes Sr. as fast as possible.
I'm sure that's what he's thinking. He's getting right up behind him, right up in that smoke. We'll see if he can make a move here right away. Looking to the high side, now dipping down to the inside.
Yeah, keeping an eye on that. I mean, you don't want nothing to happen here if you're Heath Hilton. Right behind that freight train of smoke with Chuck Barnes Sr. So that's a big story right now we are keeping our eyes on.
And something you have to wonder, is that just smoke or is there a little bit of fluid coming out? And that could be affecting the 16. He's right there behind him.
Yeah, we don't know because you see Heath Hilton drops back a little bit in that number 16. So keep an eye on Heath Hilton as they go around turns 3 and 4.
Coming around this time with 34 laps completed for your leader, 23, Trent Bear. We keep the eye on the situation with Chuck Barnes Sr. So far, so good, but how much longer can he last?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't know what it is. It could be a tire up, could be an engine problem. You just never know. But he's right behind Brian Bear in that number 99. But keeping an eye on the rest of the field out here. We failed to talk about them. Craig Luther doing a great job. David Baines right now. He's trying to stay left in the mix. He's in 6th spot right now. Sean Smith, Connor Popowell, Chuck Barnes Jr., Alex Ware, Austin Baum, John McLaren, 75 Jamie Goodman, Jeff Caldwell back there. We don't know what happened to him. He was off the pace beginning this race. JT Huffman, of course, Glenn Neal involved in that incident. Alan Williams Jr. out there in the 85. And, of course, the rookie, Carter Cook, doing a great job of just getting laps out here. And Jesse Cottrell as well. We appreciate all of those guys. And that's a look at around the racetrack while we had the same really top 5 we've had from the start of this race.
You know, you're running through the lineup there, and, you know, we've got some heavy hitters and towards the middle of the field that's sort of just running right now, not too worried about things. You got Connor Popowell back there, Chuck Barnes Jr. We really haven't heard from him yet. He's getting some laps right there, so we'll keep an eye on it. Alex Ware as well, and Austin Baum. So I'm sure we're going to hear from those drivers later on in this race.
Well, no doubt about it. You know, we've seen Chuck Barnes Jr. hold off until halfway point. So as you see, he's way up against the wall trying to get past John Smith right now, and that number 86. As they go down the front straightaway now. But here comes Heath Hilton. Now he's got to look to the inside of Chuck Barnes Sr. down the back straightaway. If it's now time, he's going to go take it.
Heath Hilton looks to the inside, but now backs off and has to get back in behind that number 5.
Yeah, had a little bit of a run there, backed off a little bit, thought more of it. But here comes Chuck Barnes Jr. He tries to go to the inside of Sean Smith for that position.
39 laps in the book. Still Trent Bear leading the pace. And with a nice little comfortable lead right now. Chuck Barnes Jr. again on the inside of Sean Smith, and a good battle back there.
Well, now you see it on the double box. Here comes Chuck Barnes Jr. He takes over that spot, but here comes Chuck Barnes Sr. trying to get position from Brian Bear. Heath Hilton fighting a loose race car. He kind of slipped up a little bit, but how about Chuck Barnes Sr.? Hey, you never know. He's riding on wheels right now.
Yeah, he makes the move right there. The 99 kind of backed off here a little bit. I kind of wonder if maybe something's going on with the 99.
Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on the 99. A lot of storylines right now, not knowing what's going on. But Brian Bear slips back to the 3rd spot. Chuck Barnes Sr. now gets up to the number 2 spot. We're keeping a close eye on that number 5, that's for sure. Heath Hilton behind him and Craig Luther, of course, your top 5.
42 laps in the books right now. Keeping an eye on that battle back there for third. There goes Heath Helton now on the outside of Bear in the 99, and Heath Helton moves himself into third.
No doubt about it. Heath Helton take over the number 3 spot now from Brian Bear. And we'll keep an eye on Brian Bear. Don't know if something's going on with that number 99 or not. We're going to keep a close eye on that for sure.
Yeah, well, he does not look as strong as he did early on. Still keeping a good pace, but you kind of lost a little bit of an edge right there. But on up front now, you see the 5 Chuck Barnes Sr. and Heath Helton closing in a little bit on your leader.
No doubt about it. They work off turn number 4 like a freight train. 44 laps up on the boat. 6 laps to go here momentarily as everyone works around the racing surface. Here comes Heath Helton, tries to get the run down the back straightaway off turn number 3. Now the top 3, Harold Adams, going into turns number 1 and 2, 3 and 4. But how about Chuck Barnes Sr. holding on up there?
Chuck Barnes Sr. right in the mix, that's for sure. Heath Helton really looking aggressive early on in the first half of this race. I thought he might have had a pass right there, but had to hold off as Chuck Barnes Sr., the veteran, would not let it happen.
Well, looking at the lap times, you're keeping an eye on Chuck Barnes Jr. back there. He's on the inside of Connor Popplewell for that position as they work over in turns number 3 right now. Everyone trying to break into that top 5 right now, held on by Craig Luther's number 48. So looking at the battle for 6th, 7th, 8th right now, it is David Baines, Connor Popplewell, and Chuck Barnes Jr. on the bottom.
Yeah, good battle on back there, as you said. Baines, Chuck Barnes Jr., and Popplewell all having a good battle back there. We'll keep our eye on that for sure.
No doubt, I'm watching this. Chuck Barnes Jr. all over the number 19 of Connor Popplewell right now as they work their way into turns 1 and 2. Whatever the problem with the number 5 is, it's not affecting him right now because he is almost battling for the number 1 spot with Trent Bear right now.
Yeah, he's definitely running full speed ahead right now, giving it all he's got. You see Chuck Barnes Jr. back there making a good move on the inside.
Don't count out him. It's a freight train going down the front straightaway. Heath Helton now tries the top side of Chuck Barnes Sr. They drag race down the back straightaway. New P2 spot. And that's going to be Heath Helton. Now watching Chuck Barnes Sr. He's kind of drifting back a little bit now, Harold Adams.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe something's going on now related to that smoke issue. Heath Helton now right on the bumper. Now going to the outside of your leader.
Heath Helton now looks for the P1 spot. He works his way off turn number 4. New leader, Heath Helton in the number 16, takes over.
Heath Helton moving his way through the field aggressively. And there he is, coming around to complete lap 50, and is your new leader.
The halfway point in the Firecracker, 150 laps on the board, 50 laps to go.
So now you've got Heath Helton number 1, you got Trent Bear second, Chuck Barnes Sr. still running third, Brian Bear fourth. A good battle being for 5th now, Craig Luther and Chuck Barnes Jr. And they make a little contact coming out of 4.
Yeah, Chuck Barnes Jr., he's not the only one that's moving up front. Here comes Chuck Barnes Jr. trying to make his way to the top 5.
And there he makes it happen. He is in the top 5, so keep your eye on the 44 as we have gone past the halfway point. Now he's going to start making his move up to the front.
No doubt about it. They work their way out of turn number 4 right now to the strike. 52 laps up on the board. Only 48 laps to go here at Salem Speedway, and you can see right there on the TV, you got a good battle. Chuck Barnes Jr. trying to get into the 99, but here's the battle up front. This is for the number 2 spot. Trent Bear and Chuck Barnes Sr.
And Chuck Barnes Sr. going to make that move, and into second, putting Trent Bear, who's been so strong, now fading back to third.
No doubt about it. And another guy that I'm watching that really hasn't made too many moves right now is Austin Baum, your defending Great American Stock Champion. Right now, back there cannot make anything happen. You look back at 6th and 7th, Craig Luther and Connor Popplewell. Then you go back to 8th, Dave Baines, 9th, Sean Smith, 10th, Alex Swear. And then you go on back and look at John McLaren, and there is where you will find Austin Baum in the 74, just not able to make ground right now. And we're over the halfway point, Harold Adams. If it's time to go, it's now.
Yeah, there's no doubt if he's holding back, he needs to get on up there with the leaders. Maybe he's hoping for a caution to get up there and then make his move. But right now, we've had a lot of green laps here.
No doubt about it. Here we go as we go around. Lap number 55 goes up on the board, 45 laps to go. But here comes Chuck Barnes Jr. He had a little bit of a run on the top side. Trent Bear tries to play defense, but here comes Chuck Barnes Jr. He'll take over P3 behind his dad, Chuck Barnes Sr.
Yeah, the 44 now making his way up to the front, just like we've seen the 16 do it earlier. So he's seen the 16 make it up to P1. He says, I got to make my move. So there he is, third. Now he's going to try to go after his dad in the number 5.
Yeah, we're all settling out now. We're seeing who's got the equipment to do it here tonight. Heath Helton, Chet Barnes Sr., Chet Barnes Jr., Trent Bear, Brian Bear. Looking at your top 5 right now. Connor Popplewell all over the back end of the Bird's Eye Bullet trying to get in. Bird's Eye Bullet gets a little bit loose there as Connor Popplewell shoots to the inside, going down the back straightaway. Can Connor Popplewell knock into the top 5 right now? Yes, he will. Yes, Connor Popplewell to the top 5.
19, Connor Popplewell looking strong at this point, so we got to keep our eye on the 19. But the 23 really had a good run the first half of the race. Kind of faded back a little bit. Now it seems like the 99 not really as strong as he was earlier either.
And we don't know, is he saving equipment or is he not? You know, this is the question that we kind of raise a little bit. Came out of the gate in the top, I guess, half of this race, and Brian Bear did a phenomenal job. We don't know that. We're coming to lap 60 next time by. To be 40 laps to go here in the Washington County Tourism Firecracker 100 for the Great American Stocks and CRA powered by JEGS. As they all work down the back straightaway, there you once again see the double box if you're at home watching on TV. Heath Helton right now all on parade coming out of turn number 4, and there's the battle back there for that position. That's 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th with Alex Ware in 10th place.
As you said, they got the double box there on Speedway.tv, and you see your leader. You see nobody around him right now. He was pulled away from the rest of the field a little bit.
No doubt about it, it's going to be less than 40 laps to go next time by. As now Connor Popplewell works on the 23 of Trent Bear. And is battling for that position right now. That is for the 4th spot. So Connor Popplewell is trying to kind of rally a late run here in the Firecracker 100.
He's definitely had a good run there right now. There he is down the inside going into turn 3. He's on the inside of 23 and he makes a move coming out of 4. So Connor Popplewell moving into that 4th spot.
No doubt about it as they work off turn number 4. It's a father-son duo. Exiting turn number 2 right now, Chet Barnes Sr. He's leading the fray right now with Chet Barnes Jr. all over the back end as they go around turns number 3 and 4. He slips up the track just a little bit, but now Connor Popplewell has a little bit of clean air to reel in the rest of the folks.
You know, Will, we were talking about Chet Barnes Sr. earlier on all that smoke. We haven't said much about it. There's still some smoke coming out of the back of that car, but not like it was before. But there is a little bit there. Still has full power, but we will see if he can hold off Chuck Barnes Jr. for that 2nd spot.
So everyone else all over the racing surface right now. Still Heath Helton with 64 laps on the board. As everyone else tries to work around the racing surface.
64 laps on the board. We'll see what happens here. Heath Helton now looking good.
So working around, there is Chet Barnes Jr. trying to pass Chet Barnes Sr. down the back straightaway. Everyone getting spread out all over the surface. Here comes Craig Luther now. Craig Luther shoots to the inside of the number 99 of Brian Bear.
All right, 66 laps on the board, yes. They've still got a really good battle for 2nd. The Barnes battle for 2nd goes on. Chuck Barnes Sr. trying to hold off Jr. as they go into turns 3 and 4. Can't quite make the pass there yet. We complete lap 67.
Well, that's a great battle, but I'm watching also the battle through the back of the field. That is Craig Luther and Brian Bear. What a battle that's going on. They race around, but Chet Barnes Jr. trying to get around the sun. Now what this is doing is allowing Heath Helton to pull away in that number 16 machine. Pretty dominant here tonight as he works his way off turn number 4.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like I said earlier, we've gone a lot of green flag laps, but can he continue all the way? Still got over 30 laps to go. But Chuck Barnes Jr. now making that move out of 2. There he goes, buys the 5 and in the 2nd place.
So familiar, top 2 up front. Heath Helton and Chet Barnes Jr. now as he got past Chet Barnes Sr. Connor Popplewell in that 4th spot, and Trent Bear still doing a great job in 5th. The battle is for the 6th spot. Here comes Craig Luther back to the inside of Brian Bear.
69 laps complete now. After Chuck Barnes Jr. making that move into 2nd, we'll see if he can cut into that lead. At 16, Heath Helton created quite a good of a lead now. We'll see what happens here, if he can cut into it or not.
No doubt about it at all. And we work around the racetrack. 70 laps on the board, 30 laps to go here. And the Firecracker 100 presented by Washington County Tourism. Want to give a big shout out to JT Huffman out there doing a great job staying out of trouble. Carter Cook doing the same thing. Rookie just trying to get laps. There we see Carter Cook working his way off turn number 4. But behind him, the leaders, as Trent Bear in that 5th spot, Brian Bear in 6th, Greg Luther now 7th, David Baines 8th. They work all around the racetrack, and there you see on your TV screen at home. Less than 30 laps to go with Heath Helton from Philpott, Kentucky, leading the fray. Oh, Trent Bear losing something. It looks like possibly a motor detonating on the 23 car. And a lot of drivers in the oil or whatnot was laid down, caught up. Dave Baines and Craig Luther hooked together.
Yeah, well, I seen it. They were trying to slow up to avoid the car spinning there, and they actually hooked fenders there, and they are still stuck. So a tough break for those two guys.
What an issue down in turns number 3. We were talking about Trent Bear, and looks like possibly more motor issues for that 23, and left down a little bit of fluid, and that's where you see the drivers start to stack up, and a little bit of fender issues. So this is going to be a little bit of a cleanup race, fans. We're going to save our voice a little bit. Don't forget, the concourse is open. Perfect time to go back there and get something cold to drink. Get you some ice cold cola, ice cold beer back there. The merchandise stand is open. Of course, our new t-shirts supporting our military, just $15 tonight. Thank everyone for their support. We have raised over $5,000 for our military, so thank you. Only $15 back there in the concourse. My beautiful wife down there, U.S. Army veteran down there selling those t-shirts. We're going to take a little bit of a break here, catch our breath, go over the lineup. Cleanup continues here at Salem Speedway.
Play the new Jurassic Park scratch-off from the Hoosier Lottery for the chance to win up to $75,000 instantly, or a second chance trip to Hawaii for your chance at up to $1 million. Hurry before this game is gone.
This candy bar hasn't been sold in decades. I mean, this thing is what?
Welcome to Jurassic Park, the new scratch-off from the Hoosier Lottery. You could win up to $75,000 instantly, or a second chance trip to Hawaii and up to $1 million. Play today before it's gone.
They will choose, of course, as Will said, this time by. We'll see. Be interesting to see what some of these drivers do. If they want to stay on that high side or try the inside right now with the way the track conditions are. But it looks like Chuck Barnes Jr. going down to the inside. He's going to go down the inside of that 16. Chuck Barnes Sr. going to stay on the outside. There's Connor Popplewell in the 19. He's going to go down on the inside.
So here we go. The lights begin to illuminate here at Salem Speedway, which started as a day race, going to end as a night race here at Salem Speedway. So getting ready to see what's going to happen at the DBV property restart zone. But I'm impressed. Chuck Barnes Sr., we saw that little bit of smoke. Does not look like it's affecting that number 5 team. So here we go. It's been a while, but here we go. Eddie Gilstrap Motorspace vehicle makes the hard left-hand turn to PNC Pit Road. Heath Helton, Chuck Barnes Jr. on the front. Row 2, Chuck Barnes Sr., Connor Popplewell. To the restart zone we go, and we are back underway here at Salem Speedway.
Green flag waves, into turn 1 they go, side by side. Looks like Chuck Barnes Jr. with a pretty good run, but Heath Helton going around this turn in 1 and 2, but there they go, side by side down the backstretch.
The defending winner of the Firecracker now looks to the inside. Outside going to be Heath Helton. Then it's a drag race as they work their way over to turns 3 and 4. Off turn number 4, it's going to be Heath Helton at the line.
73 laps down now, Heath Helton with that lead. Chuck Barnes Jr. tucks in behind him. On back a little bit now, you get Chuck Barnes Sr. and side by side for 5th. There's Connor Popplewell on the inside.
No doubt about it, they work around turns number 3 and 4. Off turn number 4 right now, they come to the stripe. It's all Heath Helton, Chuck Barnes Jr., Chuck Barnes Sr. Looking down the double boxer right now on SalemSpeedway.tv. John Smith, where did he come from? He is 4th right now. Connor Popplewell, what a run for Connor Popplewell. And Sean Smith off the pace.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, Will, how he was having a good run, and all of a sudden he just slows up, and he is going to be out of this event.
And Sean Smith tries to go to pit road. He will make it. And tough break for the 86 of Sean Smith. Man, we just talked about that.
But back up front, it's still Heath Helton and Chuck Barnes Jr. setting the pace as they come around to complete lap 76.
That 76 is going to go off the board. Less than 25 lap shootout here in your feature race event for the Crown Vic. Sean Smith, they go to work on that number 86 team. Looking at the back, Brian Baird trying to make haste as well, trying to get under John McLaren for that position. But how about your top five right now? Heath Helton, Chuck Barnes Jr., Chuck Barnes Sr., Connor Popplewell, and there he is, number 74 of Austin Baum. We talked about it. He's coming to life here in the later stages.
Yeah, and he is shown on the board now, top five. So Austin Baum been very quiet, as you said. He's got Alex Ware right there with him. They make a little contact going into 3. They hang on to it, though, coming out. We are at 78 laps down now, 22 to go.
22 laps to go. They work down the back straightaway. Down the back straightaway they go. First to second. Chuck Barnes Jr. doing everything he can. Can anyone catch that number 16? He looks tough right now. Now the battle on the track we're looking at. Of course, back through the pack, Brian Baird making his way up. But how about this battle there for the top 5? Alex Ware all over the back of the 74 of Austin Baum. Can Alex Ware get past and break into the top 5?
Yeah, we've seen those guys battle these last couple laps, but even making contact a couple times. So a really good battle right there for 5th.
20 laps to go on the board. 20 more laps around there. You see it on SalemSpeedway.tv. We talked about it. Alex Ware on the bottom trying to get past the MR Hitting Air Bombs to Racing Supplies Chevrolet. Number 74, and he's got to run down the backside. Tries to get through. Now Alex Ware has to get by Sean Smith on the bottom. He'll go up to the track.
Yeah, Alex Ware got a little loose there, really loose on the inside. Did a good job of hanging on to that one. So he'll regroup and see if he can get back up there to Austin Baum.
No doubt about it. They'll make their way off turn number 4. The leaders coming around to turn 4 like we talked about. It's all Heath Helton with 82 laps on the board. Only 18 laps to go now.
Yeah, we see now after that restart, it was a pretty close battle up front, but Heath Helton has pulled away and made some distance between him and the second place 44. So Heath Helton really showing the muscle again here as they come around and complete lap 83.
No doubt about it. 83 laps up on the board, trying to make their way around Salem Speedway. Sean Smith out there as well. So now Heath Helton, a little bit of traffic to contend with. David Baines back out there trying to keep up speed as well. But you got 84 laps on the board.
84 down. Heath Helton, Chuck Barnes Jr., Chuck Barnes Sr., and Connor Popplewell. That's the battle right now we see on the screen there. Battle for 3rd. That's Connor Popplewell putting a little pressure on Chuck Barnes Sr. coming around turns 3 and 4. Your leader comes across, complete lap 85. We only have 15 laps remaining now. Heath Helton still with that advantage, but we're watching that battle back there for 3rd between the 5 and the 19.
No doubt about it, keeping an eye on that down the back straightaway for 15 laps. It'll be less than 15 laps after Heath Helton gets past the start-finish line here. 86 laps up on the board. And Alex Ware all over the back of Austin Baum. We're keeping an eye on that battle for the top 5. That's a good battle right now. Connor Popplewell, keep an eye on him. He's trying to work his way under Chuck Barnes Sr. down the back straightaway.
And there he goes on the inside, going into turns 3 and 4. Popplewell has to hold up just a little bit. Chuck Barnes Sr. with the advantage comes back in front of him. Popplewell back in behind him.
Yeah, what a battle there. Chuck Barnes Sr. trying to hold off the young gun himself, Connor Popplewell. Has 87 laps on the board. That is a good battle on the track, but we're also watching Alex Ware. Here comes him on the inside of Austin Baum trying to get into the top 5.
Couple really good battles on the racetrack right now. We see it on the double box. Alex Ware trying to make that move on the inside. Baum trying to hold him off.
No doubt about it. There's a lot of good racing on the board right now. Don't look now. Every lap, Chuck Barnes Jr. clicking off a few tenths on your leader, Heath Helton. But right now, that's the battle right there. It'll be 89 laps on the board, 11 laps to go here in the Firecracker 100.
And as they continue around, Heath Helton continues to set the pace. Chuck Barnes Jr., if he has anything left, he needs to do it now. And on back, we continue to see this battle between the 74 and 38.
Jesse Cantrell off the pace just a little bit. Keep an eye on that number 88, trying to finish it. Just got 10 more laps to do it, if he can finish it. But here's a fray right now. And oh, here we go, looking over at turns 1. Just saw it, Connor Popplewell trying to get a run off of turn number 2 down to Chuck Barnes Sr. That'll be for the 3rd spot. Oh, they tangle, they get together. Chuck Barnes hard in the wall, and Connor Popplewell.
Wow, that'll definitely bring out the caution. They got really into each other. They almost saved it. And then they got into each other again, and Barnes hit the wall pretty hard over there.
They were racing pretty hard down the back straightaway, and look at the damage on the front of Chuck Barnes Sr.'s car. And he had a top 3 car running. Connor Popplewell involved as well. And it looks like they're calling for a hook. This is going to be a lot of damage. Well, Chuck Barnes Jr. going to be able to pull off, or excuse me, Chuck Barnes Sr. And look at the damage of that number 5 Barnes Racing Supply machine, the Gilbert Mitchell. I mean, that car is tore up hard into the turn 3 wall.
Yeah, it's a tough break, with especially showing 9 laps remaining in this 100 lapper after such a good run all event, running 2nd, 3rd, 4th.
So we got to look at the damage that Connor Popplewell, we got a replay here. Yeah, just hard racing. Those two got into it just on the back straightaway into turns number 3 and just got together, and there went them in the wall. Now, Connor Popplewell, right rear damage, looked like he went to the outside turn 3 wall as well. So there is your replay for those watching at home on SalemSpeedway.tv. So Harold Adams, the storylines keep racking up, and we have 9-lap shootout coming up.
Yeah, 91 laps on the board, so a lot of good battles right there. The last few laps, battle for 3rd, battle for 5th, and we've seen what happened there in this battle for 3rd place. Chuck Barnes Sr. and Connor Popplewell there down the backstretch.
Down there, of course, you can see the number 5 team up close, and a lot of steam coming from the front. That thing is tore up, Harold Adams. We see it on the TV here. He's going to have a lot of work to do in that number 5 machine.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like I said, once they got together, both of them kind of got crossed up, and as they was both trying to save it, they kind of bumped again accidentally, and it just unfortunately sent the 5 car up into the wall, and you see there on TV the major damage as the result.
Well, you can see Chuck Barnes Sr. climbs from the car and gets him a bottle of water, so glad that driver is okay for the veteran Chuck Barnes Sr. So 9 laps, and this is what Chuck Barnes Jr. wanted. It'll re-stack them and re-line them up. Now, question is, will Chuck Barnes Jr. take the inside on this restart to try to get a run?
Well, the last restart he tried on the inside, and it didn't work, but he may go ahead and try it again because there's just 9 laps left, and hope for that good start and get the run on 16. That 16's been pretty tough tonight.
So caution flag out on the speedway, getting ready and set for the restart here momentarily. If we go back a lap, it'll be a 10-lap shootout, 90. As you see the PNC pit road starting to line up with cars that just did not have the night that they had in hope for. But race fans, how about that number 88 team of Jesse Cantrell? 0 sponsors this weekend. He goes, if I just make all 100 laps, I'll be happy. Well, Harold Adams, he's 10 laps away. That number 88 back there, no sponsors, and he's looking for a top 10, my friend.
Yeah, no doubt. Just keeping the nose clean, like you say. No sponsors there. Unsponsored ride. So maybe the next event we'll see a few sponsors on there.
Hey, absolutely. Everyone at home getting a look at Jesse Cantrell's number 88. Great to see him continue. This is going to be a 1 to go and choose this time by from Race Control. So here we go. 1 to go and choose. This is probably the most important choose if you choose so. But Connor Popplewell able to continue in that 3rd spot. So here we go, high side for Heath Helton. There it is, low side for Chuck Barnes Jr. And how about Connor Popplewell? He chooses the high side. He'll have the preferred groove on the restart.
Yeah, kind of have to wonder, too, after all that contact, is the 19 still 100%? He's been looking really strong here down this last few laps here, but kind of keep an eye on that, see if he come up with any kind of little tweak there, may have lost that advantage. So we got 90 shown on the board now, so we'll be a 10-lap shootout.
No doubt. Getting ready and set. Here we go for maybe the final restart, maybe not. Pace truck hits pit road as we get ready and set to go. Heath Helton, Chuck Barnes Jr. And Connor Popplewell losing power possibly.
Yeah, that's just what I was just talking about. After that little incident over there, was he 100%? Caution out, caution out.
There you go. We wondered what damage was sustained, and there you go. Connor Popplewell, PNC pit road. This is going to end his chance at a Firecracker 100.
Yeah, we were just about ready to take the green flag, and the 19 pretty much losing power.
Well, as you see, thumbs up from the crew, just waving bye to him down there at Chuck Barnes Sr.'s pit. We were talking, that would be something if he lost power right in front of the pit, wouldn't it?
Sure they would have helped to push him around.
We thank the world of both of those drivers out there. We hate to see any kind of incident like that. And looks like one guy reaching in, punching. And that, don't know who that was down there, but I'm sure they'll look at that. And I'm seeing on the camera who that is, but moving on there. So it's a hot Saturday night, Hawk Harold Adams.
Yeah, it's definitely hot down there on pit road, that's for sure. So, yeah, so some interesting developments for sure as we continue to try to get this restart going here on his 10-lap shootout. Remember, of course, you see the infield there. You see all the Crown Vics lined up, about 41 of them ready and raring to go. So still a lot of racing action here tonight on this nice warm evening. Of course, now that the sun's gone down, I'm sure it feels pretty good out there now.
See, that's the good thing about us. We just get to call the action. We ain't a part of the action, so we'll just stick with that. Anyways, getting ready for the restart. 90 laps on the board, 10 laps to go, and Red Ball Recycling Victory Lane is going to be interesting. But how about the 38 of Alex Ware now? Hey, you got to stay out of trouble, and that's part of it. And now we have a wild top 5 up front. What about Alan Williams Jr., Hawk Harold Adams? I mean, this is a crazy scenario here.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned his name, I don't believe, in the mix at all. Of course, you got Austin Baum up there, too, in the top 5 again, too. So some of them guys we said earlier we didn't hear from, here they are here at the end of the race here in this 10-lap shootout.
Yeah, here we go. This is going to be very interesting. As we get ready and set to go with that incident between Chuck Barnes Sr. and Connor Popplewell. They will be out of the race here tonight. And we need everyone back away from the fence immediately, or you will be escorted out of here. Take your seat, please. And we're back underway, Hawk Harold Adams.
Green flag is out. Here we go. 10-lap shootout.
Take your seat now. Down the back straightaway we go. Here, less than 10 laps to go. Next time by.
And look at your new leaders. They come around. It's the 44, Chuck Barnes Jr.
Chuck Barnes Jr. back on top now. Here we go as they go down to turns 1 and 2. New leader, Chuck Barnes Jr.
Battle for third, Alex Ware, and there's Austin Baum again, battling side by side as they were earlier in the event.
Here we go, down to turns number 3 and 4. Alex Ware on top. Alex Ware moving to the 3rd spot.
92 laps on the board, 8 to go. Heath Hilton's been so strong in this event. Now can he catch the 44? But Chuck Barnes Jr. looks like he has really come strong out of the gate on this restart.
No doubt about it. Chuck Barnes Jr. looks for victory lane for the second year in a row. Heath Hilton follows in tow. Alex Ware and Austin Baum battling for the third spot.
That's a good battle again back there for third. Alex Ware, though, with the advantage over Baum. Looking back to fifth on the board. Look at that, 75, Jamie Goodman.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, there's so many storylines here tonight outside of turn number 4. Oh, Austin Baum, Alex Ware. Close call there off turn number 4. Good racing there as we go into turns number 1 and 2. It'll be 5 laps to go next time by.
Really good battle there for third and fourth. Looks like Austin Baum was all over the 38, went to the high side, didn't make it work. So we'll keep an eye on that as the leaders come across. 5 to go.
5 laps to go. How about Chuck Barnes Jr. back on top here at Salem Speedway? Right behind him, it is the number 16 of Heath Hilton. And here's your battle for third right now. Here comes Austin Baum, your defending Great American Stock Champion on the inside of Alex Ware.
Well, them guys have been battling the whole race, it seems like, and continuing on now. Side by side down the strike for third. That's where your battle is. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll see off front if Heath Hilton has anything for Chuck Barnes Jr., but he better get on his horse quick as we watch that battle for third. Baum now gets a little out of shape, hangs on. Tucks in behind the 38 for third. They come across 97 laps down, 3 to go. Chuck Barnes Jr. in a 44. Really looking strong here after that restart. Heath Hilton desperately trying to catch him. On back there again. The 38 and the 74 put on a heck of a show for third as they battle it out. Getting sideways. Baum down to the inside now. Trying to pass that 38. 2 laps to go. Down the backstretch. Chuck Barnes Jr., Heath Hilton. We look at Alex Ware feverishly trying to hold off Austin Baum for third. Then we see the white flag waving now. White flag out for the 44. 1 more laps to go. We continue to watch that battle for third. Alex Ware still holding off Baum. Baum's going to the outside. Tucks back down behind him. Around turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag going away for your winner. 44, Chuck Barnes Jr. Second, Heath Hilton. And here comes that battle for third. Third will be the 38, Alex Ware, holding off a hard-charging 74. And a good battle for fifth. Jamie Goodman getting fifth, and a good battle for sixth down there. So, wow, what a finish. What a race again for the Great American Stocks in this Firecracker 100. There he is coming across here at the beginning, right here at the front. The 44, Chuck Barnes Jr. All right, down to you, Will Greenwell, whenever you're ready, my man.
Thank you very much, Harold Adams. And how about it? 2 years in a row, the Firecracker 200 winner. The owner of the track down there separating everybody, or you will be escorted out of here tonight. But race fans, he gets his helmet off, everything. How about it tonight? What storylines we had tonight here in the Firecracker. Chuck Barnes Jr. parks it in victory lane, and what a top 3 we had here tonight. There he is, Chuck Barnes Jr., your winner tonight here at Salem Speedway. Oh, I tell you what, he's happy as they splashed water on him. And I tell you what, Chucky, that was a fun one. There's so many storylines here tonight for that, everything going on. You played the situation of the game, but congratulations.
Thanks a lot. There, Heath Hilton was on a rail there, and we just got lucky on a restart. So it's been a hell of a job all year last year, and finally got to show what we had here tonight.
Well, who would you like to pick on the farm?
All these sponsors, the crew guys, they take care of us. They got to hang on.